This story is known as one of the scariest ever written, and for a good reason. It's actually really scary, and it deals mainly with the concept of having this other person taking control over your personality, over yourself, over what makes you you. So having this internal force, power, call it whatever you want, taking control over your own body. Greetings, fellow bookworms. Jean-Claude here to talk about The Exorcist. So I read The Exorcist last week. I've watched the movie. So the first movie, there's like 5 movies made at this point. A 6th one coming up in 2 days, actually. But yeah, I watched the movie like 10 times before I finally decided to read the book. And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It's so good. The movie and the book goes well together. Like they're two, they just complement each other very good, actually. If you know nothing about The Exorcist, the story is a little girl plays with a Ouija board and she summons a devil, essentially. And her mother is trying to find help from medical experts at first, and they can't help her because nothing is wrong with her daughter physically. And after some time she is directed to a priest, so she asked the help of a local priest to perform an exorcism. That's the book, very briefly. That's describing the story very broadly, because there are more subtleties in the book and in the movie that I would recommend. If you've never watched the movie or never read the book, I'd recommend at least watching the movie, and if you like the movie, then moving to the book, or vice versa. It works also. If you read the book and you like it, you can watch the movie afterwards. But in my opinion, both these things should be watched or read, because book and movies are so good in their own right, and they complement each other very good, actually. It's funny that the title of the book is The Exorcist, while the exorcism takes like 50 pages in the book and maybe like 30 minutes in the movie. So the book is 400 pages long and the movie is like 2 hours long. So the exorcism is just a small part of the story. It's more about the build-up, going there, because the exorcism is more just the climax. It's the end, the conclusion, the big finale, like everything just falls into place and you have the exorcism, and it's so much horror is going on in that exorcism, but also the horror was there previously also. So just like in the movie, there's this one scene where the daughter like runs downstairs, but on her forelegs, but backwards. It's just, yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, the book focused more on the priest, so Father Karras. Near the end, actually, like half of the book is mainly from we're following the priest and no longer the mother and the daughter, which is a good, cool aspect that I really enjoyed, seeing the perspective of the priest. It's not really his perspective because it's not written in a POV or whatever. It's just that we're following the priest for a long time near the end, and we see his struggle, something that we kind of see in the movie but not as deep. While in the movie we see more of the mother-daughter relationship in a more detailed way than we see in the book. So that's why both of these are really good and they go well together. If you watch the movie, you can read the book afterwards and still enjoy it, because there are some subtleties that you've not seen in the movie. And same thing if you've read the book and you are wondering if you should see the movie, yeah, because there are some subtleties in the movie that you've not seen in the book. As for the other movies, so I've not watched the 2 sequels that has come out like in 2004, 2005, something like this. Both the sequels are the same movie from what I understand. I've not watched both of them, mainly because it was not on any streaming services that I have. So I've not watched any of them, and I've been told that they're pretty bad actually, so I'm not missing much, I think. So funny story about the first time I ever watched The Exorcist. So I come from a Mormon religious family. So me with two other friends, we were supposed to go to the Mormon temple, but we decided not to go with our families to the Mormon temple. So we rented The Exorcist, and we decided to get high and drunk and just watch The Exorcist. We didn't finish. It was too scary for us. We stopped it midway, I think, when Reagan is running downstairs. That's when we stopped watching the movie, because all three of us were just too scared. And I rewatched The Exorcist like 5 years later or something, mainly because I was too scared to pick it up again. So, but yeah, it was a very, that's my funny story with The Exorcist. If you have any fun stories, when's the first time you watched The Exorcist, or the first time you made your girlfriend watch The Exorcist, maybe, or something like this, then let me know in the comments down below. That's it for the review of The Exorcist. On with my random pick for next week. So, on with next week random pick. I have my little toxic waste bag here. Let's put all these book titles in the skull. Come on, perfect. And yeah, let's just make sure everything is well random. And what did I just picked? Oh, so Gaston Leroux, Fantôme de l'Opéra, so Phantom of the Opera. I can't wait to read Le Fantôme de l'Opéra, so Phantom of the Opera. I had to read this book when I was in high school, so when I was 14 or 15 years old actually. It was a homework that I had to write a review about it. I've not finished it at the time, mainly because it was too boring for me. So right now I'm attempting at reading it again. This time I hope I'll finish it. We'll see, and I might talk about it next week actually. Thank you for sticking around, for watching the video and still be there if you're still there. And I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.